Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin continues to be in this bear flag. It continues to rise a little bit in price. The recovery is continuing, and so far we cannot yet really say which scenario it is following. Is it following the bearish one or the bullish one? I told you from which point of view the bullish one will get much more likely. That is above 23.3k. Unfortunately, and welcome to crypto, until then, the probabilities are very, very similar. Even though for me personally, the bearish one is more likely. And I gave the bearish one a 75% probability from my personal view, how I think this is going to play out. But if we look at the wave counts, both are very valid. Yeah, so the bearish one and the bullish one both currently, you couldn't say just by looking at the shorter time frame wave count which scenario is going to play out. It all has to do with the bigger picture, and for me here on the higher time frame we see this bear flag. My view is also here that these overlaps all are just extremely difficult. Yeah, it is the same thing that Bitcoin did, not exactly, but it's similar to here. Here it's looking more bullish, I have to say. Here the situation was crystal clear for me, and we also talked about it has to come once more lower. But then we had the situation here. I remember that when we moved up to 45, 48k, similar situation, looks a bit more choppy, this movement. That was back in February, but also here we had a huge bear flag. I mean, if I zoom out further, I can go to the 4-hour chart. That was a huge bear flag as well. And also here, it is it's a very similar fractal, just very much larger. And also here, the situation was pretty clear. We have to come once more lower. Here, however, there was an alternative scenario where we could have, for a short time period, moved up to maybe 60k and would have then come down. This didn't play out. So again, but the bear flag played out. Similar story to here now. But where are we on these shorter time frame wave counts? So as I said in the previous video, there are basically, I would say at the moment, still two key scenarios that we have here on the chart. For the bearish one, and both lead to similar results. So here we've got the scenario where we have a WXY pattern. Then we had already an impulsive wave down, a wave 1. Basically that wave 4 was finished here, wave 5 still to come. And that we already are basically in that fifth wave in blue. That we have completed the first wave of the fifth wave, and we are now retracing in a wave 2 of that fifth wave. So far, the wave count seems to follow this. We can count this as, let me just show you here, an ABC pattern. So a wave 2, for example, has an ABC pattern. So we can count this as an ABC, where we can retrace here to a certain degree in a wave 2, because this would be the wave 1, this would be the wave 2, then we'll get a wave 3 of the wave 5 to the downside. And how high would that wave C actually go? And we can calculate here, we can take the length of the wave A, add it to the low of the wave B, and then we get two levels. One level here is the 1-to-1 ratio. I'm not sure if that will be enough. That is 21.1k. The other one will be the 1.618 extension. That is the 22k level. And that is the level where I said if we can go above 20,500, the 22k level would be a good target. And that is exactly what we're seeing here. The 1.618 extension of the wave of the wave A would take us to that 22k level. Now, we can also look from the other side, so we can look at the Fibonacci retracements, okay? So, what is the retracement of this entire move? And here, we can see that, for example, 21.1, that's the 61.8% Fib retracement. We'll see if we get a bearish reaction there, but we cannot yet really count five waves. So, what we want to see in a wave C are 5 waves, so that would rather confirm that we see a little bit higher prices, maybe the 78.6% or 88.7% Fib level here at 22k. So this is where wave 2 could end at one of these Fib levels and then reverse to the downside. So I think it would go a little bit higher. Then at some point we need to be really on high alert that at any point this retracement could be over and we will move down. A good indication is always a break of the previous swing low. Here, for example, at 20,364. And then, of course, if we go out of the channel again at 19,600, that would be good evidence that this wave 2 is over. Now, how would the lower level wave count at the moment look like? So I already showed you here this A, B, C. And then all we have here is just a 1 and a 2. And a move above this 20,860 level would indicate that wave 2 here is finished and we're moving up in a wave 3 of the wave C. So here, just for clarification, 1, yeah, and here 2 would now be waiting for a 3. Okay, so this is the bearish wave count. There's another bearish wave count which pretty much would the shorter time frame wave count would be very, very similar or even identical. We would probably just have a longer wave C, and that is the WXYXZ pattern, where we are not yet in the sell-off. In fact, this was a corrective wave and this was a corrective wave, where we're going to move the entire sell-off one step to the right, and it will only start after wave Z has peaked. That could go a little bit higher than the wave 2 scenario, for example to 23k, and therefore I'm telling you that above 23.3 the bullish one will get more likely. So we need to allow for both options, even though the bearish one, in my opinion, is more likely. But what I said in the beginning, from an Elliott Wave point of view, the shorter time frame one, you can't really tell the difference at the moment. This is the bullish scenario where we had a wave 1 here, a wave 2, another 1, 2 set up here, and we're now working our way up in a wave 3. However, I have to tell you very clearly, again, for a wave 3, it is all getting a bit too choppy for me again. Yeah, you've got overlaps again here between that wave 1 and that wave to the downside. So what we do at the moment, I told you in the last video, based on this wave count, we've obviously come down in a wave 2 here. We're now working our way up in a wave 3. That wave 3 in pink, which would be somewhere up here, yeah, can add that. That wave 3 would need to take us above the resistance zone of here. It needs to take us above 23.3k. I mean, we can just calculate the target for that wave 3. And unfortunately, we won't really have a good indication which scenario is working out until we really go above the 23.3k level. So this wave 3 should take us to 25k. If it doesn't, obviously it's not a wave 3. Yeah, and again, I'm leaning towards the bearish scenario. What you can see here at the moment is that we were also in the last video, I told you we were in this wave 3 here, in the bullish one. However, we've now seen again, yeah, subwaves play out. So this is another, and this always, you know, another 1-2 setup, always these overlaps, yeah, which getting it choppy and just shows that Bitcoin doesn't really have the power at the moment. Yeah. But for anybody who's in a trade here, draw yourself a trend line, and that's a good indication when we drop below the trend line that the bullish scenario here might not be working out as, might not be working out, right? So this is currently where we are. So best indication that wave 3 here is starting. Actually, first of all, wave 3 in green would have to be that move above 20,900. Then you probably know that wave 3 is starting. At the moment, we moved up to that level and got rejected. Yeah, so we're just rejected here, and see if we can push through here. If we can't, then this indeed was just an ABC, as I indicated in the bearish scenario, and we're already reversing to the downside. But I think, you know, put yourself a trend line on the chart, and you have probably a good signal that the overall uptrend here is over already and that we're coming down. And that is currently my view about Bitcoin, bearish and bullish scenarios. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.